So let us see different operating modes here. First one is row based operation. Row based operation means, as the name indicates, the rows will be processed one by one. That means, for example, let us say in the source system, let us say we have 1000 records. Okay, then what how the loading process will happen is, the source records will be the source records will be processed one by one in the sense, the Oracle, how it works is, when you are creating any package or a procedure for this particular mapping, what it does is it prepares a cursor. Cursor is nothing but the select statement which actually is based on the source tables. In our case, let us see, we have the employee table. So employee select star from employee table is the cursor. Okay, so here what is happening is, here we do not have any conditions or where class or filters, nothing. It's a plain select statement, so there is no problem. I mean, it's a very simple one. But let us say in this employee table there are hundreds of records. There are let us say 1000 records. Okay, so when we are selecting for this particular mapping, what happens is, a cursor will be prepared with the select star from employee table and cursor will be opened and cursor will be looped and each record from the select statement will be processed one by one after one. First take the first record, do the insert or update whatever you have defined in the mapping. Okay, and then go to the second record, then do the process, I mean do the DML operation, insert, update or delete, whatever it is, and then go to the next statement. Like that, it will take one record at a time and it will process. Take a record and process, take a record and process. That is what happens in the row based operation. So in this case, what is the why generally we use row based operation is, when we want to make sure that each and every record is scanned. Every time the records are scanned, but each and every record is having proper audit. Okay, so for example, I have 1000 records and out of that, let us say I got an error at 100th record. So I will get all the details for this particular records in the audit tables, and then it will go to the next record as per the defined process. Okay, so the advantage here is that you can have the maximum audit details. That means the complete record information, why it is failing, where it is failing, which procedure is calling, and what are all the error details. All these kind of information actually we can have in the audit details. So that is the main advantage with the row based operation, and also the records will be processed one by one after another. So you can give the order by class in special cases. You want to insert the records based on some order, or you want to do insert update based on some order. In those cases, actually row based operation will be very useful, because based on the, let us say based on serial number or sequence number, we are doing the update operation. So if you are doing a bulk, then all the records will be updated at a time, then that can cause some issues later. In the sense, that is your business requirement. It doesn't mean that every time this will cause an issue, but as per your business requirements, let us say I have to process these records in the given order. Okay, in that case actually this row based operation is very useful, but at the same time it will do one by one, so it will take long time. If there are thousands or millions of records, it will take a lot of time. Performance wise it is very slow, but if there are any errors or anything, you can have all the details. That is the advantage, and order also will be followed. That is the advantage with the row based operation. Okay, so now let us see the second one. Row based target only. The second one is row based target only. So as the name indicates, I want to do the row based operation only during target. What does it mean? What does it mean? See, in my mapping I have different activities, like as I have explained, the select part from the source table. Let us say when I am trying to take the data, or when I am trying to select the data, when I am trying to insert into the target table, first what it will do is it will gather the source data first, maybe based on the cursor, okay, or bulk statement, okay, and then do the internal operations, intermediate operations, and then finally load into the target. So these are the different three different activities happening in a particular mapping. So when you are selecting this particular source data, okay, that also you can do it in row based, right? But here our intention is only the target in the row based operation, right? That means you while selecting the records, okay, if you want, you can take all the records at a time, I do not mind, okay, but while loading into the target, please do it in row based, one by one. Please do it when you are inserting into the target, or when you are inserting into the when you are updating or deleting into the target, please do it in the row based. But selection, in between processing, all those things I do not mind. You can use bulk operation, bulk select, collect the data into some collections, okay, I do not mind, that is fine for me. So the program or the OWB can check what is the best way to do that. So maybe from the source, instead of putting it into cursor means again you have to select the record one by one. When you are looping in the cursor, record will be processed one by one, okay. Fetch the record first, then do the DML operation, and again go to the because still you are in the loop, go to the next record, again do. When all the records completed, then come out from the loop. That is how it happens. But I am defining row based target only mode means, so this particular selection process, instead of doing it in one by one row, please, maybe if it is possible, do it in collections. Select all the records into a collection, and after that you process them one by one. That is my requirement. So this way what will happen is the selection process will be at least very fast, okay. But while loading into the target, okay, again we have to go one by one, or you may have to follow the order. So this is like you have a little bit performance improved compared to the row based, but still you have half of the work you are doing in the row based operation, because the DML operation mainly you are doing in the row based operation again. So that is how it works. So auditing wise also there is a bit limitation for this one, but it is almost same as a row based operation. You can have all the details, okay, but the performance is improved compared to the previous mode. That is the advantage here. But in every cases it may not be possible, but wherever it is possible, and In that cases OWB can choose the optimal way. That is the idea here. And the next one is set based operation. Next one is set based operation. So set based operation is very powerful operation in this process, because let me put the words here. Row based operation, one row based target, row based target only, and then set based we are saying. In set based operation, what happens is all the operation from selection process from the source table to loading into the target table will be done with using a single statement. Single statement in the sense single DML operation. For example, let us say we are doing the insert operation in this particular mapping. So in between I do not have any complex transformations, I do not have anything. So what this can do is it can prepare a single statement, insert into EMP table, select star from EMP, insert into table employees, select star from EMP. That means here the cursor, we are not defining any cursor here, cursors we are not defining. Everything, the DML operation is done in the single statement. Okay, so what happens is all the records selected from the cursor at a time, they will be processed for the insert or delete or update operation. So that means you are not doing row by row from the source or target. Okay, so everything you are trying to do in a single shot. That means select all the records at a time, you are trying to load it into the target system. So here the advantage is that performance will be definitely improved, because you are not looping, you are not checking for the audit details, you are not verifying the conditions and all. Directly in the single shot you are trying to insert the data. So obviously the performance will be very good, there is no doubt about it. But at the same time, let us say out of these 1000 records, let us say there is only one record is having some issues. Maybe it may be failing because of the data type mismatch, or compatibility issues, or the size may be problem, any issue, data issues or any problem. Let us say for our convenience, let us say we have seen earlier, we have seen when we were validating, we have seen number format compatibility warnings. So the same thing, let us say here we have, let us say only one record, the salary format, let us say it got some 7 digits or more than 7 digits, and or some junk character came in between, and it is not able to load it into the target table, because this particular row data type in the target is different, and what we are trying to insert is different. So in that case, what will happen is doesn't matter whether it is one record or 100 records, it will roll back for all the complete process, it will roll back. So it cannot perform the defined activity, because there are some records which are having problem. Why this issue is coming during runtime? This issue should be identified during validation, right? No, that is not possible, because during validation what it does is it will check, it will validate only the defined program, but there is no possibility that it cannot check the incoming data. So as per the given set of rules, it will verify, okay, whether this is possible, this particular defined operation is possible or not. Those kind of validations it can do, but at the same time it cannot verify whether the data, all the data will be processed or not, because we do not know. Today we are getting 1,000 records, out of which there are 1 or 2 records are having issue. Tomorrow there are 500 records are coming, but all of them may be processed without any issues. So this is comes into picture during runtime only. So because of that, what is happening is, if any of the record is failing, because of this one it cannot validate during validation, but this can be identified only during runtime. So set based operation, so the performance wise will be really good, because you are processing everything at a single shot. Good. But there are disadvantages also. Suppose as I have explained, if one record is failing out of 1,000, one record is having compatibility issues and all, then it will stop the complete process. Okay. And there are limitations to operate and set based operation. So whatever the mappings you are defining in the design center may not be possible to run in set based operation. Here this is a simple mapping, 1 to 1. From source we are loading into the target, so it is possible that we can run in set based operation. Sure, no problem, it can work. But sometimes we will have a complex diagrams, in the sense we may have to join 2-3 tables in between. We may need to have some procedures. In that during that joins and all, there will not be any issues, but only the only the problem is transformations. Under transformations also, if we have procedures, then it will not be able to operate in the set based operation, because procedure means you are giving some records as you are giving some input parameters, and you are getting some output parameters, and those output parameters may be used in the subsequent mapping. So this kind of mappings actually cannot be operated under set based operation. So what will happen during validation itself, if this kind of mappings are coming, during that time itself it will say that now this particular mapping cannot be operated in a set based operation, please choose some other operating modes. So at that time you may have to go for row based operation, row based target only operation, whichever is possible, or bulk operation. Those things actually you have to look into. And also when we are facing some issues, let us say we are facing some issues, right? We thought that there is one record out of 1,000 is having some issue. So these kind of records also we will not be able to identify, because we are doing it in a set based operation. So the audit information also will be very less, because if I want to put everything into the audit information, we do not know how many source records will be there, and very difficult for the system also to identify. So what it will do is, and also performance, the main idea is going to set based operation is performance improvement. And if you are putting audit for each and every record, again that can cause performance degradation. So just when we are facing some errors during set based operation, it may say that okay, because of so and so error this particular operation is failing, that's it, and it can come out. That is how actually it works. So you have to be careful when we are using a set based operation, and make sure that there will not be any data issues, data type issues, compatibility issues. Those things we have to avoid as much as possible. So the next one is set based failover to row based operation. This is also another common operation used in the OWB ETL process. Set base, it is saying that set base fail over to row base. So what it is doing is, see, in this particular mode, the program will try to operate in set based. It will start the DML operation with the set based mode. Maybe it will prepare a single statement and it will try to load it into the target. Okay, but let us say in between the same case we are taking, there is one or three records. They are having compatibility issues, and the record got and this complete set operation has been aborted. Let us assume that. So in that case, what it will do is, generally the program, if you are using only the set based operation, the mapping will fail and it will come out. It will not do anything. Okay, so but in this case, in this operation, set based failover to row based means if it is failing because of some errors, any kind of error, it can be data issue, data type issues, compatibility issues, or some unknown errors, whatever it is, then it will try to switch to row based operation. Some error came. Okay, so but I want to process when the error is coming. Fine, let us do not stop the process, let it be continued, but at the same time, okay, I want to have the complete details about why this particular what are all the records are having problem and why it is failing. Those details I need to have. So in that case, what it will do is, if there are any errors, stop the complete set based operation, roll it back, everything, it will come out, and the next step what it will do is, it will try to operate it in set based row based operation. Row based means, as we have discussed above, it will take record one by one, and it will try to load. So if you see in the audit tables, you will have an entry, this particular operation has been failed with the set based operation. Okay, and with then it is switched to the row based operation. During row based operation, it will identify what are all the records are having problem, and all other records can be committed based on your settings or mapping definitions. Okay, based on your commit frequency. So here the advantage is, we are able to continue with the process even if there are any errors. So these errors also we can have a control. How many errors I can tolerate? Maybe sometimes maximum one error. After that, sorry, I cannot tolerate. Oh, so sure, no problem. We will do it, and we can define that. That option is also possible in Oracle Warehouse Builder. So that option is common for all the things, but it will not be applicable for the set based operation, but it is applicable for the row based operation. Set based means if any error, stop everything, that's it. But row based, we can have an option to limit the number of errors. Okay, so here that means it has a scope to run in two different modes. But every time, but it doesn't mean that every time this runs in the two modes. Only if there are any errors, then only it will switch to the second mode. That is only the difference. Again, when it switches to the row based, auditing will be more, performance will be slow because it has to process each and every record, right? These are all the advantages and disadvantages. So as per your requirement, we have to choose which one is the best one. You should not go by thumb rule, or you should not for each and every mapping, let us say I will go with only set based or row based operation. So we cannot do that. So whichever is suitable for your particular mapping, then you can use that. That is the idea here. So what is the other option? We have set based, we have seen, and then set based failover to row based target only. Set based failover to target only. So again in this one, this is a combination again. See, row based failover to target itself is a combination of row based and is a combination of the source processing can be into bulk, but target will be row based. Okay. So in this one, what happens is this operation also it will start with set based operation, right? So in the set based operation, what it will do? Again, it will try to process the complete 1000 records at a time. Okay, it will prepare everything into a single statement and it will try to load them. But for somehow there are issues, there are data type issues. Okay, 1 or 2 records are having some problem. So in that case, what will happen is, it will stop the operation in set based mode, then it will switch to failover to row based target only. Okay, row based target only means, so the complete records from the source selection are fetching the records from the source system. It can do it in a set based or bulk operation, but later and then it will store all the values into some variables or collections, so no need to hit the database or data files, so the data is available in the memory itself. Okay, so from there again you just try to process one by one while loading the data into the target, do it in row by row. Okay, so here also we have all the options, like while inserting into the target, we can have how many errors we can tolerate, whether we can proceed if there are any errors coming, or we want to stop, or if we can proceed, how many errors we can accept or tolerate. All this kind of information we can give. So here this is again set based. If there are no issues, and this particular operation again, if there are no issues, okay, it will run in the set based operation, performance will be good, you are getting your mapping is completing within few seconds or minutes, you are absolutely fine. If it is failing, still the selection part, it will try to put it into bulk operation, and only loading part it will do it in the row based operation. So out of 3, actually first 2 operations, set based operation is also good, is a very good one. Even selecting the source into collections and putting it into memory, that is also good approach, right? Well, but in the target, the third part, loading into the target, we are doing it in the row based operation. So that the last part may be a bit slow, but all other operations will be very fast. So here also the auditing will be, if it is running in the set based operation, it will give high level, these many records got inserted or updated or deleted, good, no problem. If it is failing, It will give you an entry saying that okay, this particular set based operation failed with so and so error. Then it started target only, row based target only operation. Under this one again, if there are any errors, what it will do is it will capture the error details for each record based on your limitation, and it will put it in the audit tables. So row based, when anytime when we are doing a row based operation means it has to process the record one by one, and at the same time auditing will be also good. That is the advantage with row based operation. So these are all the different modes. These are all the different modes, operating modes we have. So you can choose any of them, okay. And also these are all the runtime properties. You can for example, let us say first time when I am deploying this particular mapping, I can use set based operation, okay. But second time when I am running it manually, I can change it to row based operation also. That is also possible. So these are all called runtime parameters. So all these runtime parameters you can modify when the program or mapping is executing. Before executing, it will prompt to enter all the parameters. If you do not want to enter anything, anyway the default values, when you are creating the mapping, whatever the values you have choose, those values will be there, right? But if you want to modify any of them, okay, no problem, you can do that during runtime. So that's the reason these are all coming under runtime parameters. So we have seen default operating mode, we have seen operating mode options, we have seen. Let us see other items, other parameters, what are all we have in this runtime. So analyze the table sample percentage. Analyze the table sample percentage. So let us say we are trying to analyze the target table after inserting or deleting the data. Let us assume